We are live. All right. We tested it out. And for the 6 of you out there that heard me, I'm going to probably repeat myself. So we are rocking and rolling, and we'll introduce the bowlers up front, just in case you do not know about know about two competitors tonight. But on the left, we have Mark Van Heynigen, the defending champion in the South Conference. That's his new, pronoun in front of his name. And on the right, we have Shawn Breton. So we are ready to go for 5 strings as the season is winding down. So I believe Mark is going to go first. So, guys, here we go. Mark Van Heynigen will be up first on lane 21. Thanks for hanging in there as we were testing the audio. This match definitely has playoff implications for Mark. He's leading his division, looking to expand on his lead. And his first ball of the late afternoon, as we are here in Millis, just takes 3 out on the left-hand side. Mark's averaging 106.26 to be exact, leading his division. Wayne Bullock is still within striking distance, though, so a strong showing tonight for Mark. Will go a long way in helping to secure a division title. And he has 2 pins remaining. Takes down the 5. And that'll be a 9 box to start. Mark right in on the head pin. We do have a split here, 2 and 1, a piece of wood. See how Mark tries to play this. Will he try to use the wood or try to split him and go right? Let's see. Well, he went for the split. At least that's how it ended up. So he'll be open in the second box. My name's Dave Peterson, by the way. I don't think I introduced myself, but my voice kind of gives me away. And I guess you could say that was a good move going for the 2 on the second shot, because you didn't get anything on that one. So that will be 8 box 17 through 2. And thank Mark for his setup tonight. He's got the stand, the iPad, the microphone, everything in order. And I'm going to turn on my cell phone just in case there's any comments. Mark's off to the right on the 3-pin. And I'm going to say that's a spare opportunity. Hey, Greg and Nico. Let's see what Mark can do here. Bang. Right where he needed to be. So spare in the third. Those of you who were following the ACST in the South section last year know that Mark had clinched a playoff spot on the last day of the regular season last year. I believe it was the 8th seed. It was either 7 or 8, but I think it was 8. And there's a spare fill of 6 with a not a friendly leave, but he ran the table in the South and went all the way to the championship match. But a very impressive showing. He's a great pinner. You know, look at that. He was right on it. Wood kind of got in the way of that one. And this year got off to a little bit of a slow start for him, but He's put it into high gear, coming off a match yesterday against Candlepin in a 10-4 victory there. So we'll have one match left after this one. So right now, Mark is at 42 through 4. And goes on the left-hand side of the head pin, leaves a check mark. And that'll be off to the left. Unusual. I'm glad it sounds great in Australia, Greg. So, so it must sound good in Massachusetts, New England, and the Canadian Maritimes. And just a bit out to the left, that'll be a 7.49 for Mark. And up steps Shawn Breton. It's a very competitive seed conference in the South here, so we have some good bowlers that won't be making the playoffs, but certainly looking to play spoiler here, and Shawn's one of those. He's come on strong lately. He's averaging 100.36 and looking to improve. Everyone wants to improve in the standings. That one he's off to the right and clips off 3. Everyone's season's starting to wind down. Shawn tells me he's got 2 more matches scheduled this week. Oh, Shawn hits it right where he's hoping, and that 5 pin once again is the one that prevents Shawn from getting a spare. Whoop! That's a skip lob right off the lob line, but it didn't lose anything on the. I'm going to say going left or right. It went straight, and that's a 10 box. So Shawn will start off the second box. Of course, Mark, remember, had 49, so Shawn's at 10. Through 1. And similar hit to the last time, and similar result. Not exactly. Only got 2 pins down this time. And this time he gets them all. So Shawn's got his second ball working. He'll work on a spare leave and would definitely like to throw his second ball or his next ball like the second balls that he's been throwing. With a good fill, has a chance to get a lead and more chances for marks. Oh, and he does improve, but leave you don't want to see on a spare. Nice ball, but that's a spread eagle and a 4, so 24 through 2 for Shawn. And that's what you got to go do is try to pick off three at a time on each side. And that one's off to the right. So got a 7 out of that. That's 31 through 3. And there we go again. We know Shawn can make this one. He's made it once and made a darn good run at it the other time. The other one had 8 pins. This has 7. And barreling away in on the head pin again, and different variation, leaving 3. And he almost gets them all. Nice try at that, but still a good 9. So that gives him 40 through 4, so he's quote-unquote at par. A 9 will tie the match, tie the string. He was trying to get the strike there for sure. He's got himself a 2-1 split per our scoreboard. That's his second split of the half. Mark had 2 as well. He's going to give it a run. Clips off to 2. And takes down the 10-pin for a 10 and a 1-pin lead after 5 boxes. 50 for Shawn, 49 for Mark. Six box here. Mark steps up, goes to the left. And all but the head pin. Yeah, Greg, of course we have opposite seasons. So it's starting to warm up here. Today was one of the, second or third warmest days of the year. 78 on Fahrenheit, and that's 25 in Celsius. So we're enjoying our short sleeve shirts, and looking forward to summer. But Mark's looking forward to doing some good bowling here. He's under par here with that 9. He's at 58 through 6. Just off to the right this time. Mark bowls out of Buzzards Bay down in Wareham, Mass. A little light there, runs down the 3. That's at Ryan's Family Amusements down there. So that's overlooking the Cape Cod Canal. All right, so we have a second consecutive 9 for Mark. I think he thought that was going to be a 10. So did I. 67 through 7. Looking to get at least 1, maybe 2 marks here. Put a little pressure on Shawn. The marks so far has just been off just a bit here. Yeah, sounds good, Nico. And on the head pin again. Still got 2 on the right. And he's on it for a 10 box. That will be 77 through 8. Mark's very familiar with these lanes, having bowled many ACST matches, and he is also a league member of the Once a Month League, which bowls out of Millis. So can't say there's much of a home alley advantage for Shawn tonight. Mark has an interesting shot here. He's got the 2-1 with an angled piece of wood in front of the 2 on the right. I've got to assume he's going to head that way. Goes high on it and drives it across just behind the 7-pin. That was a really good effort. Not much more you could do on that one, but he will be open here in the 9th. And I'd say that one didn't make the gutter. or the channel, as we were supposed to say, but didn't hit the pin, so that'll be a 9 box, 86 through 9. Yeah, Nico, I'm having fun. I won't make the playoffs. I actually bowl in the same conference as these guys. Each of them took me down, but really good competition. So Mark has another crack at that 7-pin, this time for a spare. So he is staring it down. This would be a really big one here. And this time, he's got it. So a chance for a get over the century mark here, and with a big full, Phil will really force Shawn to get a mark or two. It's a big fill ball right here. He's just off to the left. Leaves 5, gets 5, doesn't have to shoot at it. That's a 101. It's a little bit below average, but that was a big 15 box. Shawn will need 52 pins in his 5. Shawn knows what he needs to do. And here we go. Just off to the right. Make a believe. Let's get some wood in between. That will help as well if we can hit the object. I'll say I'm going to say definitely needs to hit the head pin. I'm going to say most definitely, because there's no definites in Candlepin bowling. And that wood almost goes back and gets it. So again, just leaving the head pin. Good effort. And that'll be wide left. 9 box, 59 for Shawn through 6. Hey, Casey. Dave Peterson here. I was at a restaurant I think you were at, maybe not the same location, last night. I traveled up north of Boston to Burton's Grill. Met some of my friends. That was a central meeting point for them. Here comes Shawn, though. An unusual leave, but one that could be made. He's off to the right, leaving 4. So again, looking for that one mark. Mark Van Heynigen got a 101. And when Shawn completes this 7th frame, he'll be at 60-something. That will be a good out of that. That's a 9, 68 through 7. So Shawn needs 33 to tie. Of course, he's interested in getting 34, which would give him the win here in the first string from Millis. Oh, wow. Good luck tonight, Casey. Wow, that was looking like a spread eagle for just a moment. Wouldn't you believe all 3 pins on the left just disintegrated? And now Shawn has a shot. Will that wood cover the 3 pin is the question. Let's see where Shawn ends up hitting it here. Nope. A little too far to the right on that one. Yeah, I'll go over some of the standings in just a second in the South Conference. That's another 9, but Shawn still has 2 cracks at a mark. It's at 77 through 8. In that particular leave, I think that probably would have been better without the wood, because if he had hit it full without hitting the wood, he might not have carried the other 2. Shawn on the 3-pin, gonna get some action here. It's wiggling. 1 goes down, 2 go down, 3 go down. And one piece of wood just drops off the deck here. So let us see what Shawn can do on this with this one. Hits the object and takes them all down. Big spare in the 9th. All right, so here's the story. Shawn's at 87 plus a ball. Mark was at 101. He is off to the left, but gets a good count. Gets 7. So right now we are tied. With that spare field gave him 94. He's knocked down 7, so he's at 101 right now. So all he needs is 1 pin, 2 cracks at it. And he does it in style. Spare in the 10. So back-to-back spares. Shawn open for the last. He had 1 spare in the 2nd, but open until the 9th. Gets a spare 7, and now he's going to fill it at 104 plus 10 more. Well. Shawn made that look easy at the end, even though it was a close, tight match throughout. But he ends up with a huge 20 bucks on the end and a 114 win. And when the final score is posted, Shawn 114 to 101. It will look like he was in control the whole way. But in the end, he needed to make a spare, get a good fill, and he added onto it with a strike fill in box 11. So 114, 101, Shawn Breton takes string 1. That's good news for Wayne Bullock and everyone else in the conference that's chasing Mark. Yeah, what a pickup at the 189. Wow. Not an easy one. So Mark starts off the 2nd string, doesn't hit the head pin, but does leave just the 1 and 3. And that's what you call good pinning on the 2nd ball. So a spare to open the 2nd string for Mark, who's right in on the head pin again. This time he's trying to match what Shawn did in the 10th frame, which would be get a 20, but it's a 9-pin drop. And I think the Chamber of Commerce put out this piece of wood out there. It is very inviting piece of wood that's wired to the 9-pin. And there it is. Didn't even need the wood after all, but we would all take that in a heartbeat. So 2 marks to start the 2nd. This time Mark off to the right, but gets a good count at 7. He'll take that any day of the week and Friday. Unless you're in Australia, then it's Saturday, but we take it either day. It's going for 3 in a row right here. Oh, he does hit the head pin, but not strong enough. Just a little bit light. And that one goes astray. That'll be a 9 bucks. Really good start here, though, for Mark. 45 through 3. On the head pin for Mark, this time leaving the triangle left-hand side. Triangle 2, I believe, and Mark makes short work of that tricky, always tricky shot. Now on to box 5. And a fill ball. A little heavy. So it'll be a 5 fill 60 through 4. This would be his prettiest spare yet if he's somehow managed to do that one. Oh, he thought he might have that. He was staring it down, even going to lane 22 to check it out. Red line, pin takes the 4, ball takes the 7. That's a 9 box, 69 through 5. Excellent first half for Mark. 3 marks out of 5, some good fills. So Shawn will need to go to work. Doesn't want to fall too far behind. Does have a 13-pin lead based on his 13-pin win on the first string. So yeah, there's 4 divisions here, of course, in the South Conference. Best record right now belongs to Shawn Pine. He has 159 wins. Next is Zach Corbett. He has 152 wins. Next is Matt DePero at 150. All those guys have played the same number of matches. So, and Mark, by virtue of being a division leader, would be the 4th seed. He's got 124, so he looks doubtful. I'd say that he could catch the other guys because actually, mathematically, it would be hard to do. You'd have to win all 28 points and hope the other guys lose every single string. So at best case, it would be a 4th seed, but a division championship is really what you're looking for. And Shawn with the 10. The wild card right now, Trevor Kennison is in the 5th position. Jerry Emerald 6th. Michael Legendra 7th. And there's a battle for the 8th slot right now. Paul Newman has the lead on that one, with Wayne Bullock and Kendrick Payne also in the mix. Ryan McHugh a little further back. A lot of matches occurring here over the next week or so. The season will end on May 10th. May 10th, the regular season. There's Shawn. Boy, his second ball's really been working. Of course, his first ball worked as a strike in what would have been his 11th box as a fill. That'll be 7 for Shawn, 17 through 2. If you like to look at it box to box, Mark was at 36 at this point. So, box to box. Mark has overtaken Shawn in the overall lead. Shawn has a powerful ball. He throws it at about 32 miles an hour. And that's at the pins, so it's even faster out of his hand. And that one just off to the right. That'll be a 9, 26 through 3. Mark with a very strong 69 through his first 5. Shawn will need at least a mark here to try to keep things close, or 2 to get closer, or perhaps take a lead. Hoping that trips, and it does. Of course, on this one, you still need to hit the object pin. No guarantee they're all going to go, but just misses the 3 pin just to the right. Almost gets the 10, but there'll be another 9. 35 through 4. 1 to go before he sits down. You see Shawn's name on the back of his shirt. That may look familiar to some of you fans out there that watch bowling. Of course, Shawn's sister Ashley is also a member of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I got to call a match earlier in the year with Dan Castle when it was siblings versus siblings. It was Shawn Breton and Ashley were the home bowlers, and Zach Corbett and Joe Corbett were the visiting bowlers. So that was kind of a special evening. Shawn with the washout leave here. There is a piece of wood behind the 1 and 3. Hits the wood, so it does trip a few pins. Shawn will be open here in the... Oh! Is that your third ball? Or is that your third ball? Okay. I was looking at the standings and didn't even notice that was his third ball. So that'll be a 7-42 for Shawn. So Mark's opened up a lead here at the halfway point of the second string. 69 to 42. So Mark looking to even the score at 2 points apiece. Both remaining pins wiggling, but neither of them are going to fall. And Mark's staring this one down, trying to figure out left, right, right, left, or right at it. Well, a lot of drama, but he'll get another try. And he'll hit the piece of wood. Not to be. Mark, though, still has a really good game going at 77 through 6. We have ourselves another split. 3 and 1. He had a 3 and 2 just a couple boxes ago. Almost connected. This time it's a little further to the right. So we'll try to pick up 2 more here. He has 3 marks in his string, though, all in the first 4 boxes, actually. And good job clipping off those 2 for a 9. 86 through 7. Again on the head pin, and again a spread eagle or a hit right through the middle. You've seen Shawn have that. Mark mows down the 3 on the right. Mark throws it about 21 miles per hour. definitely counts on his accuracy. Like that. Right on cue. That's a pro 10 out of that. 96 through 8. So after some splits off the head pin, Mark decides to stay off the head pin and hit the 2. Just chips out the 3 pin, leaving 3. So he'll be open here in the 9th. So keep the door open for Shawn when he steps up there. Very good 9 for Mark again. So 105 with 1 box remaining here in the second string for Mark Van Heynigen. Back on the 2 pin. And when your ball's heading down towards the 3 pin like that, this is probably the one thing you don't want to have happen. Let's see what Mark decides to do here. Go for the head pin. Or clip off the 2. And that's the danger. That's a 5 box. So what looked like could have been a really huge string after 69 through 5 ends up being a 110. And suddenly Shawn with a 50, actually 58 and 10. So he still needs 68 to tie. So, but definitely more possible than needing an 80 or so. Shawn's at 42. Takes his time here. And fires away. Oh, that one hit off the foul line and went to the right. But it wasn't a fill ball. And for Shawn, this is it's a spare leave. We've seen him throw a strike earlier, very powerful ball. I think he hit it in the same spot. There we go. There's that powerful ball we were talking about. When all's said and done, it's still a 7. A good out for Shawn. 49 through 6. And throws that out there. Off to the right. Tough spare lead. Leaving just 2. Just gets a piece of the 10 pin for a 9 box, 58 through 7. And Mark had a 110 total. Shawn would need to mark out here to have a chance to take this string. And a spare opportunity. off to the left. We'll have another try at this. But he would need at least a double strike to take the second string. That'll be a 9, 67 through 8. There's that powerful ball. Hits right in the pocket, and he's still alive for the string. Needs a strike here for a chance to take this string. He's got one. Just off to the right. That will tighten things up. And Shawn has a chance for a spare here. It's a toughie. But he nails it. Made that look easy, folks. So that's a spare on strike. So the 67 after 8 turns into 87 through 9. The mark is 97. And Shawn has one ball to throw. 97 plus 7 more. So it was not looking like a 104 string a few boxes ago, but Shawn with a very strong finish. Not quite enough to take the string, but enough to keep the lead in total pins. He's retaken the lead. We'll show everyone the scoreboard here in a second once they add them all up. But that's a 110-104 victory for Mark Van Heynigen. So each bowler has taken a string. Each has 2 points. Shawn's going to post it up there. Let's see. That looks good. So you can see that. Easy peasy. Shawn with the first. Shawn with the first. Mark with the second. And 218, 211 after 2. It's a close one. So we are on to string 3. And Mark starts off the third string like he started in the second. He started the second with the spare. Followed it up with the strike. This time he decides to get the strike right off the bat. Second, boy, has a chance for a double. It has a chance. 9-pin drop. Piece of wood behind. I think that's the 4-pin. But there's another one off to the right. That really, well, we'll see if it comes into play. Oh, he gets it near the end, near the cap. But the ball goes straight through. So that's a spare on strike. 20 through 1. 30 and a ball through 2. Off to the right, and he'll get 4. Could have been 3, but he gets 4. Bidding for another mark. It's a tough one, but throws a good ball and leaves 2 with a nice piece of wood out in front. And right in the middle of that piece of wood for a $10. It's 44 through 3. I didn't see the comments earlier. Greg was asking what class this is. This is Class C in the South. Mark just off to the left, leaves 4. It's at 44 through 3. 3 still remain. Good out there by Mark, getting the 2. Getting the 7 pin there would have been a bonus. So Mark's quieted down a little bit after his strike spare start of the 3rd string. He's at 53 through 4. Again off to the left, this time the dreaded half Worcester. And happy Friday to you, Patty. Wow, that is just an ugly leave right now. You don't see this one very often. 3 out of the 4 in the back. 1 in the second row from the back, and the head pin. Mark decides to go for 2, probably a smart play. And a 7, and that's 60 through 5. So certainly a very good first half. It started out huge, but in the end, it's still 60. Shawn steps up. Has a lead of 7 in total pinfall after 2. That one hits the line. Doesn't really skip though. Gets a good count. It's got a couple pieces of wood there. The first one is way out. He's going to go check it out because the second piece is angled towards the bowler. Wow, that is why we were taking an extra look at that. That's why Shawn was taking an extra look. That second piece of wood acted as a roadblock, sent everything in a different direction. And that will be a 9 box. That's all Shawn could do is hit it right there. Yeah, Patty, just from reading all over the Candlepin chat stuff, I know there's a big tournament up in Augusta, Maine this weekend, the 1-7-10. Well, the lane's up there in Augusta. There's a team tournament going on up there. I know there's one also in Western Mass. Of course, you have the Friday Night Pro League tonight. Tomorrow there's a house tournament. Micah Imperato runs it out in Whitensville in the morning around 10:30. So a lot going on. Plus all the ACST matches as the season's coming down to an end. Shawn dropped 7, looking to run this. Ran the 4 horsemen down. This time it's only 3 horsemen. Hooks that one to the left. There'll be a 9. A pair of 9s to start the 3rd string, 18 through 2. Shawn looks up the scoreboard, sees Mark had 60 in his first half. Shawn off to the left gets a good count. And with that wood hanging around, that's a makeable spare, I would think. It's one of those spray and pray situations. He's right on the head pin. He sprayed, but his prayers were not answered. He was right on the head pin. Shawn picks that up for a 10, so that's 28 through 3. Mark has overtaken Shawn in total pinfall at this point. Mark was at 44, Shawn was at 28, so 16 pin lead for Mark through completed boxes. And a 9 pin lead through completed boxes for Mark Heynigen. Shawn off to the left. But again, not an easy one, but makeable. Wow, boy, Shawn's throwing some really good balls here and has not been rewarded. That could have been 3 marks here in this set. That will be a 9, 37 through 4. Shawn will be coming to the halfway point of the match with this box right here. Going to get some action. Could have been 3. Four still remain. Shawn takes aim, and would you believe it, again? That could have been 4 spares out of 5 boxes. Well, there's a 10, so no marks. Of 47 without a mark is a darn good score. But that easily could have been a lot higher with 2 or 3 marks. Shawn put the ball where you would think it needed to be, but it was not to be. So we're halfway done. 60 to 47. Mark leads this string by 13. Leads the match by 6. Mark hits the head pin, hits the object, but can't cover the 8 in the back. Off to the left, a 9, 69 through 6. And this time off to the right. Shot known as the Caleri. Mark a little full. Did hit the object though, 2 remain. Drives it straight through for a 10. 79 through 7. Lately, Mark's been liking lane 21 versus 22, that's for sure. This time on the head pin, and this time he knocks them all down. He's starting to like lane 22 now. That was a no-doubter, right in the pocket. Now looking to fill his strike. Second strike of the string. Mark chips out one, so that'll be a 7 fill on the strike, 96 through 8. Off to the left, that's a 7 and 103 through 9. Yeah, you're right about that, Nico. There are a lot of good bowlers up in that tournament. It's great to have a tournament up in Maine being so successful, and people look forward to that one. A little light on the head pin. Only 4 dropped as Mark awaits the ball return. Here it comes. He's at 103 through 9. Hooks that one just a bit. One ball to go here for Mark. Up around 110. That's 2. That's an 8. That's a 111. So Mark with strings of 101, 110, and 111. He's on the up elevator, although that one was only a pin more than the second string. Shawn at 47 has been throwing a good ball and has been robbed several times here, but needs 64 to tie. So definitely needs a couple marks along the way. One string apiece. Thanks everyone for tuning in here on this early Friday evening. If you're watching it live, it's Shawn with this powerful ball. He hopes that one goes. Not to be. He's got some wood there, but it's going to be tough to sneak over and hit that 4-pin. Oh, it does go over and scoots right in front of the 4. That will be off to the right at 9 for Shawn. So 56 through 6. Needs to get to 111 to tie. Off to the left, but look at the action. He might get the backdoor strike. The Julian, I believe they call that in Canada, right? So he's got the head pin. There's some wood that's right against it. I've got to think even if shot a little bit to the left or right, might take it. Oh, goodness. That was incorrect of me. I thought that might swivel around, but there were a couple of pieces of wood there. And he leaves that off to the right for another 9, 65 through 7. That was a tough break. Did I get that right? Oh, sorry about that. It's going to remove the frame here. Yeah, it's remove. There's a remove frame button there. Yeah. Press the key. Yep. There we go. All right. On to box 8. Shawn at 65 through 7. Throws it out there. Really good first ball. Just a little heavy. Shawn will give it another run. That will be a 6, 71 through 8. Shawn leaves that out to the right. Gets 2 on the right and the 7 pin on the left. As they say, they're all in a pack, all in a bundle. He'll look to explode these, and if he can get his first ball hit, they explode, but he's just off to the left, leaving the 1 and 3. Shawn fires away. That'll be an 8. So I'll give Shawn 79 through 9. And that gives the third string to Mark Van Heynigen. The most Shawn can get is 30 and 109. So another 2 points for Mark. That'll give him 4 and Shawn 2. Shawn looking for a Mark here to keep total close. Hits the head pin, little light, 2 remain. Shawn definitely deserved a better fate with regards to the score in this string, especially in the first half. That's a 9 and an 88 for Shawn. No marks, 88. That was good pinning. So Mark takes it 111 to 88 by 23 pins. So that will give Mark a 17-pin lead in the match. So we're still close. Mark has 2 strings. Shawn has 1. And Mark is ready to rocking and ready to roll. Start string 4. He's been starting off strong in the last 2 games. Does so again. Not a strike, but a 9-pin drop. Mark nails it. Again, a Mark to start his string. Always nice to be above par right out of the gate. It's like playing with house money. And Mark is very grateful for 6 there. I think he thought it was going to be a 2 or 3 washout or half whister. Giving it a bid on the outside. Nope, that will not count. That's an 24 through 2. Fourth string from Millis, Massachusetts. I'm Dave Peterson. Thanks for joining us. Mark leaves the triangle. I believe that's the triangle, what is it, 2, right? Yep. The 2 pin being the object pin. Mark leaves that out to the right. Made it earlier. And that would have taken it, but it is a 10, 34 through 3. Box 4. Mark looking for one of those to fall, if not a piece of wood to get angled properly. It's the old Woolworth 5 and 10. There's actually a second piece of wood behind that first one. I don't think that's going to help matters. He tries to go really low on it, which he is. Oh, that was a nice try. That's all he could do. So once again, he'll be shooting at that 10 pin, this time for a 10. And I think he's got this down. 44 through 4 in the 4th. 4's a wild. Good first ball, and that is not what he was hoping for. And we've got a roadblock right in front. I think he's going to try to cap this one. Just off to the left. Not much you could do about that one. Mark adds one more to his count. That's an 8 box, 52 through 5. So the door is open here for Shawn. After 3, Mark led 322 to 306. So that was a 16-pin lead. Shawn has a chance with a mark or 2 to get a lead going into the second half of this string. We know Shawn can explode. Off the 3 pin and just leaves the 1 and 3. You see this leave quite frequently in Millis, depending on the bowler and spin and so forth, but get some good action off the side of the boards. Shawn bounces a skip lob there. It went off the lob line. It's one of the 2. And that'll be a 9 for Shawn to start the 4th string. Second box coming up for Shawn. Those are right out there. That was not what he was looking for. That was a really good first ball. And it's 2 and 2 and no wood to use. So that will be a $6 for Shawn. 15 through 2 as the Hall of Famer Steve Marino heads down the lanes to retrieve some of Mark Van Heynigen's, 2 of them, bowling balls. They haven't come back yet. In the meantime, through completed boxes, Mark's added another 9 to his lead, which was 16. Powerful first ball. Off to the left. That'll be a 9 for Shawn. 24 through 3. He held on to that one just a fraction too long. Up to the right, some good action. Everything but the head pin. That'll be a 9. So 33 through 4. Shawn will throw one more box. Throws it right out there on the head pin. Not a leave you want to see either, but some wood just rolled up against the behind the 2 pin. There's a piece behind the 8 pin. Shawn right on it, drills it, goes right through for a big spare in the 5th. Shawn definitely needed that one. Threw a good ball when he had to have it. So that will give him 43 in the ball against Mark's 52. So we've got a pretty, obviously a close game. Either way, if Shawn gets a strike, he'll get the lead. So we go to the back half of the 4th string. This one's a tight one. Mark's 1-2, Shawn's 1-1. Mark's off to the right. Gets the extra pin flying across. Mark's going to try. Will that go? It does. The 2 of them were wiggling. Both of them fell. So Mark with the spare in the 6th. Off to the left. He's got the Cleary and a 5 fill. So 67 through 6. Mark played it on the outside. All but one. to the right for that one. So with that 9 in the 7th, Mark is at 76 through 7, so he is above par. Off to the right, we get more action or not? Doesn't look like it, but there's a nice piece of wood here hanging around in the middle. If Mark can hit the head pin kind of heavy. Easy for me to say. He does that, and it goes. How many spares is that on the day for Mark? Do we have a count here? Or,
9.
9 spares and how many strikes?
He has 2 strikes.
2 strikes and 9 spares so far for Mark. He's got another fill ball working. This time on the head pin. This time another 5, but this time it's a split. (91 through 8). Punches out one more. You hate to see that happen. So pretty much need to go for the 2 on the right here. And that's what Mark does. It's an 8 and 99. One box left without a mark. Mark will be right around that 110, 111 mark. Throws a ball in the pocket. It's the triangle on the left side plus the 10. So we've been seeing quite an assortment of spare leaves today off the head pin. He's giving it a go. Oh, he almost pulled it off right behind the 10 pin. So he will be open in the 10th. And Mark's very consistent today. A 101, a 110, a 111. And with that pin that does count, he just nicked it, but doesn't matter how. That's a 10 box and a 109. So he has a 109, 10, and 11. Not in that order in the last 3 strings. Opportunities, though, for Shawn. He's at 43, but he does have a ball working here. Definitely need a good fill and a couple marks. We know he can do that, how he closed out that first string. Here comes the fill ball. Just off. Just like Mark had earlier, a 5 fill. So that's 48 through 5. We need 62 to take the string, so that's at least 2 marks. Chops out the 2 pin for an 8. That gives Shawn 56 through 6. Steering up in Mark's 109. Yeah, I remember. 8 pin drop here for Shawn. Just off to the left. He wanted that one. connects for the 10, so 66 through 7. Still has an opportunity to take the string. We know Shawn can throw a strike at a moment's notice here. And he can get a spare at a moment's notice, too. That was a strike ball for a spare. Huge spare in the 8th for Shawn. So he's at 76. And the ball working. And this time he gets the 3 on the left. So he's got the reverse shot of what he just had. That gives him 79 through 8. Needs 30 to tie in 2. And lays that one out to the right. Well, he does that the unconventional way for a 10. He does not need a double strike now to at least get a tie. He's down 20, so spare strike, strike spare will do it. And that is not what you want to see when you need a strike or a spare. But he's given it a run. Just the 7 and 10 left. So Mark Van Heynigen will take string number 4, his 3rd string, and gives him 6 points. And he'll increase his overall lead. That'll be a 9 and a 98 for Shawn. 109-98. So the total match lead goes from 16 to 27. I'll show the scores in a second here. As Mark starts the 5th and final string, he lays that out to the right. Just gets 3. In case he just fast forwarded and missed the first few games. Shawn took the first. Mark Van Heynigen took the last 3. So it's 431 to 404 for an official score. That'll be a 10 to start. So no mark this time around. The second box is that lead we talked about earlier. Off the head pin, but just leaving the 1 and 3. And that wood looks like it is leaning against the head pin. Well, that was a little bit of danger with the cap, but no problem at all. Spare in the second. Mark has had either a strike or spare in the first or second box of every string, and this time he has a strike on his spare. The third string, there was a spare and a strike. Now he's working on a strike in the 4th. I think Mark has found the range Oh, so close to a double. Second time he's had a 9-pin drop on a strike. We saw him pick this up for a spare earlier. And he does it again. So that's a spare and a strike. Had a strike on a spare. The pins are falling fast and furiously because he has not left one on the deck here in the 5th string. Started with a 10, a spare, a strike on the spare, so 30 through 2, a spare and a strike. Gave him 50 through 3. With the spare, he's 60 through 4 with this ball working. A little light on the head pin, but still a darn good drop, 7. There's some wood hanging around in the back. 67 through 4. This is the Mark Van Heynigen that was in the playoffs last year that swept right through the South. I think he beat the 1, 2, and 3 seeds last year. That was quite a feat. Oh, that was, yep. Oh, my goodness. Oh, jeez. That's crazy how that almost didn't go. So Mark did not leave a pin on the deck. That's a 10 box, 77 through 5. And Shawn has his work cut out for him right here. As we head down the home stretch, Shawn was down 431 to 404, so 27, but even if total would be tough to come back, Shawn would love to grab this 5th string. Took the 1st string, got 2 points. Shawn plays it on the outside. Good 10 for Shawn, matching Mark's 10 in the 1st. Just off to the right, and there's that leave we see so often, the Clary. And he nails it. Well done by Shawn Breton. That'll be a fill of 4, giving Shawn 24 through 2. Cleared out the left side. Good ball there. Could have taken it. The 5 and 10 remain. That'll be a 9, 33 through 3. Mark, of course, had 77 through his first 5 boxes. Shawn looking to hit the head pin, almost has the same lead that he just had, but this time the 9 pin clears out. Now just the 1 and 10 left. Gets the head pin, 9 box, so 1 to go in this set, 42 through 4. Shawn looking to put one on the board here like he did the last game. Give him some momentum for the second half. Off to the right. Just leaving the 1, 2, 4. And nicely done by Shawn Breton again in the 5th, just like last string. Puts it on the board. Second mark of this 5th string. So he's got a good one going, but Mark with a spare strike, spare combination at 77 through 5. Shawn at 52, but he'll have a ball working. As we head home, 5 boxes left for each bowler. And it appears Mark will be breaking out of his 109, 8, 109, 110, and 111 games here. Just missed by a hair. 2 remain. That'll be a 9. And that's head pin number 25 for Mark today. That's in box 47, but he's got an ugly split. That's his 13th split. Nine box it will be, 95 through 7, 3 left. Mark back on it. Tough spare chance here. I'll try to cut that 5 across. Pretty darn close. That'll be an 8. So Mark's been a little quieter here in the last few boxes. 4 open ones in a row. He's got a really good game going at 103 through 8. This will be his best string of the day. He seems to have had either big first halves or big second halves. Just hasn't. If he was able to put those two together, you'd be looking at 140 games. But as it is, Mark's through completed boxes after this. He will be at 10, 1, 13 through 9. One box to go. Off to the right, and what the heck? We'll go with the full horseman one more time. Looks good. Oh, man. You can never count on that shot. Usually it's the last pin that's the problem. This time, even though he hit it right in the pocket, it was the 4 that didn't go. Off to the left, that's a 9, 122 for Mark Van Heynigen. That will give him a 5-string total of 553. So over his average from the ACST. So Shawn was at 52, and he does have a ball working here. Here we go, Shawn, right on the head pin. Oh, I was hoping the 4 would drop, but it doesn't. It is a 7 fill, 59 through 5. Trying to cut the 3-pin across, too far to the right. That's what he was looking at doing. As it turned out, he didn't need to have to cut it too much. There was some wood behind that helped out. So 10 bucks, 69 through 6. Shawn needs 53 and 4. It's a tie. He's made this earlier. And off to the right. That will be 6 for Shawn. So 75 through 7. He's above par, 5 over, but Mark Van Heynigen threw a very impressive 122 in the 5th. He did not want to leave the door open for Shawn. He saw Shawn win the first string. Shawn with a nice pocket hit. He has the triangle. The triangle too as well. Oh, hits the object. But does not go. The tricky triangles claim another victim. And that will be a 9 for 84 through 8. Not in double strike territory, but pretty darn close. Shawn needs 38 to tie, 39 and 2 to win. giving it a bid. Only gets the head pin. Too heavy. That will be a 7 and a 91. Mark Van Heynigen has officially won the 5th string, so he will take 2 points for the string. 4 for total. So a grand total of 12 points today. So that's good news for him in his bid to win his division. Shawn will get 2 points. And I'd love to end it on a spare. He made this one earlier without any wood. This time off to the right. That one to the right as well. So that'll be a 7.98 for Shawn. Mark takes the 5th and final game, 122 to 98. So Shawn does break the 500 mark with a 502. We'll show the final score in just a second. Shawn will get 2 points by virtue of winning the first string. Mark Van Heynigen takes 12. So he's got 1 match left against Wayne, right? Yep. So we'll see if that match will, if those guys are close enough, it might make the difference between who wins the division and not. But we'll have to see. So the match is still yet, but you can see the scores up there. Mark Van Heynigen wins it and gets 12 points. Shawn gets 2. So that will do it from here at Ryan's Family Amusements. My name's Dave Peterson. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the lanes.